Imagine a vast cosmic stage, darkness, then a pinpoint of light, our universe born in fire and expansion. Billions of years pass, galaxies form, stars ignite, live and die, they forge the elements. Carbon, oxygen, iron, the very stuff of planets, the stuff of life. And on one small blue planet, a story unfolds. This story begins in Africa, a continent of immense scale and ancient history. Here, humanity took its first steps, looked up at the same stars we see, wondered about its place in the cosmos. Along a great river, a civilization would rise. It would reach for eternity. It would leave echoes that still resonate. This was the land of Kemet, the Black Land, they called it, named for the rich, dark soil, a gift from the life-giving Nile, surrounded by Deshret, the Red Land, the vast, unforgiving desert. This duality shaped everything, life and death, order and chaos. We embark on a journey back through millennia, thousands of years, to witness the birth of ancient Egypt, a civilization that seemed to spring forth as if from the very fabric of space-time, but its roots run deep into the soil, into the human spirit, into the cosmic dance of order and creation. Consider the Nile. Not just a river, it is the lifeblood of Egypt, a celestial artery, pulsing through the desert. Its origins lie deep in Africa's heart. Blue Nile, White Nile converging, a journey of thousands of miles, carrying water, carrying life, carrying the seeds of civilization itself. Every year a miracle, the inundation, the river would swell, predictably, reliably. Monsoon rains far to the south fed this annual flood. It was a cosmic clockwork. The ancient Egyptians understood this rhythm. Their calendar was based on it. Their lives depended on it. The flood waters brought more than water. They carried precious black silt, rich in nutrients, a natural fertilizer. As the waters receded, this silt remained, renewing the land, making it incredibly fertile. This was Kemet, the Black Land. It allowed for bountiful harvest, year after year, century after century. Without the Nile, there is no Egypt. It was a highway for trade and transport. Boats sailed up and down its length, connecting communities, unifying the land. Papyrus reeds along its banks gave them paper, a way to record knowledge, ideas, history. The Nile was a cradle, a teacher, a god. Long before pharaohs, long before pyramids, people lived along the Nile, hunter-gatherers at first, following the herds. The climate was changing, the Sahara expanded, pushing life towards the river valley. This was many thousands of years ago, a slow dance of adaptation. Humans finding their way in a shifting world, then a great shift, the Neolithic Revolution. Humans began to farm, to settle down, domesticating plants like wheat and barley, taming animals, goats, sheep, cattle. Small villages sprouted along the Nile's banks. So this was the dawn of agriculture in Egypt. A new way of life took root. Communities grew, society became more complex. These were the pre-dynastic cultures. We call them Badarian. Nakada 1, 2, and 3. Names from the sites where we found their traces. They left behind pottery, tools of stone and copper, early forms of art, simple yet evocative. They buried their dead with care, with objects for a presumed afterlife. The seeds of later beliefs were sown here. These early people were the true pioneers. They learned to read the river's rhythms. They developed irrigation techniques. They organized themselves into larger groups. Chiefdoms emerged. Local leaders gained power. The foundations of a grand civilization were being laid stone by stone, whispers of the mighty Egypt to come. Section 4, Two Lands Entwined, Narmer's unifying vision. Egypt was not always one. For a long time it was two lands. Upper Egypt in the south, the Long Valley, symbolized by the white crown, the lotus. Lower Egypt in the north, the delta, symbolized by the red crown, the papyrus. These two regions had distinct identities, different customs, sometimes different gods. Power grew in different centers. In the south, Hierakonpolis, Nakada, Thinis, chiefs and early kings vied for dominance, consolidating control over territory. In the north, Buto was a major center. The political landscape was dynamic, shifting. Conflict and alliance shaped this era. The stage was set for a monumental change. Then a figure emerges from the mists of time, King Narmer, some say Menes, a powerful ruler from Upper Egypt. Around 3100 BCE, a pivotal moment. He's credited with a great feat, the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, bringing the two lands together under a single crown, a single rule. The Narmer palette tells this story. A remarkable artifact, carved slate. It shows Narmer triumphant, wearing both crowns, smiting his enemies, a symbol of power. This was more than just conquest, it was the birth of a nation-state. The first dynasty of Egypt began. A new chapter in human history opened. Section 5. Order from the universe, Ma'at, and Old Kingdom governance. With unification came the Old Kingdom, an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity, roughly from 2686 to 2181 BCE. This was the age of pyramids, but it was also an age of ideas about order, about kingship, about humanity's place in the cosmos. The pharaoh was central to this vision. He was more than a king, he was a god, a divine intermediary between heaven and earth. His role was to maintain Ma'at. Ma'at was a profound concept. It meant truth, balance, order, justice, harmony, the cosmic order established at creation. It was the opposite of Isfet, chaos, disorder. The pharaoh's duty was to uphold Ma'at, to manage this vast kingdom. A sophisticated administration developed. The vizier was the pharaoh's chief minister, overseeing all branches of government. Nomarchs governed the provinces, or nomes, scribes were essential, the literate class. They kept records, managed resources, taxation, public works, religious rituals. Writing itself was a divine gift. Hieroglyphs, sacred carvings, beautiful, complex, used for monumental inscriptions, religious texts, but also for everyday administration. This bureaucracy allowed Egypt to flourish, to organize vast construction projects, to maintain stability over centuries, order divinely ordained and humanly managed. Section 6. Monuments to eternity, pyramids and the pharaoh's ascent. The Old Kingdom built for eternity. Its most famous legacies, the pyramids. These colossal structures pierce the sky, testaments to human ambition, ingenuity, faith. They were not just tombs, they were resurrection machines, stairways for the pharaoh's soul. To ascend to the stars, to join the gods, the pyramid form evolved. It began with mastabas, flat-topped rectangular tombs, then a genius architect, Imhotep, serving King Giza of the Third Dynasty. He stacked mastabas one on another, creating the step pyramid at Saqqara, the first colossal stone building in history, a revolutionary leap in architecture. Then came the true pyramids, smooth-sided. The most magnificent are at Giza, built for Khufu, Khafre and Menkaure. Fourth Dynasty pharaohs, the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the only surviving wonder of the ancient world, built with millions of stone blocks, precision engineering on a cosmic scale. These were not built by slaves, as once thought, but by skilled Egyptian workers, farmers in the off-season. They were organized, fed, housed. It was a national project, an act of faith. The pyramids were aligned with cardinal directions, with constellations like Orion, symbolizing the pharaoh's journey into the afterlife, a powerful statement of belief and royal power. Section 7. Art, Gods and Whispers of Forever, Egypt's timeless legacy. Egyptian life was woven with art and religion. They were inseparable, two sides of one coin. Art was functional, it served a purpose, often religious, or to glorify the pharaoh. Temples were homes for the gods, adorned with vibrant reliefs and statues, telling stories of creation, of divine power, of the pharaoh's connection to the gods. The Egyptians worshipped a vast pantheon, gods and goddesses for every aspect of life. Ra, the sun god; Osiris, god of the afterlife; Isis, goddess of magic and motherhood; Horus, son of Osiris and Isis, protector of kings. These deities were not distant, they were active in the world and in the lives of ordinary people. The afterlife was central to Egyptian belief. Death was not an end, it was a transition to another realm. The field of reeds, a paradise if one passed judgment. The heart weighed against Ma'at's feather. Mummification preserved the body. Tombs were equipped with essentials: food, tools, texts like the Book of the Dead. Ancient Egypt's legacy is immense. It echoes through the corridors of time. In architecture, mathematics, medicine, astronomy, in concepts of justice and divine kingship, their calendar, their writing system. They laid foundations for later civilizations, a testament to human creativity, a civilization that dared to reach for eternity and, in many ways, achieved it.